Good morning, students. In the previous class, we were discussing about different types of frictions. That is, static friction, kinetic friction, rolling friction, and limiting friction. And in today's class, we'll try to discuss about an experiment for finding the value of limiting friction and coefficient of friction for a pair of particular two surfaces. So for that, first observe the experimental setup as shown in the figure, and in the figure we find a wooden block which is tied to a string or a thread that is passed over a pulley at the edge of the table, and at the other end a weight hanger is attached. When you are gradually increasing the weights, what happens after some time, the body will be sliding on the table. Whenever the body is sliding on the table, that weight has to be determined actually. So first of all, we'll go from the beginning. Whenever the wooden block is in the rest position, when the weights are less, so in that situation, we already know that the static friction will be existing, because that is the frictional force when the two bodies are at rest. When the applied force increases, the static friction also increases. And we already know that the static friction is a self-adjusting force. So the net force on the body remains zero as the object does not move and it is in the rest position, and we say that there exists static friction and it is self-adjusting force. To understand the self-adjusting force also, we'll try to take one example. Consider a body at rest on the ground. In order to move the body, we are applying a force of 100 newtons. So in opposite direction also, a frictional force of 100 newtons will be acting to stop the body. If we are increasing the applied force to 200 newtons, then the frictional force also increases in opposite direction by, that is, 200 newtons. And if we are increasing the applied force to 500 newtons, then the frictional force also increases to 500 newtons in opposite direction. But in this case, what happens when the applied force is 500 newtons, then the body is ready to slide. The body is ready to slide. Then this 500 newtons is treated as maximum static friction, and it is given a special name that is called as limiting friction. That means as the applied force increases gradually, then a stage is reached where the body is ready to move but will not move on the surface. And this maximum value of static friction is called as limiting friction. Then afterwards, if you are slightly increasing more than 500 newtons, if you are increasing a force more than 500 newtons, then the body will be sliding, and in that situation, there will be kinetic friction. Whenever this kinetic friction is there, the kinetic friction will be somewhat less than the static friction or less than the limiting friction, because there is no time available for interlocking of the irregularities, so the body will be easily sliding on the other surface, so frictional force decreases. So in the if you are observing the situation, we can easily say that the sliding friction or kinetic friction is slightly less than that of which friction? Static friction. Now we can draw one graph by taking the applied force on x-axis and frictional force on y-axis. You will find the graph as shown in the figure. In the graph, if you are observing from point O to point A, it indicates the static friction, and point A, that is the maximum value of static friction, point A is called as limiting friction. And if at all the applied force exceeds limiting friction, then the body will be sliding, and in the graph from point B to point C, that is called as kinetic friction. And if you are drawing one more graph between the applied force on x-axis or weight of the body on x-axis and frictional force on y-axis, you will get a straight line. And if you are calculating the slope of that straight line, that slope indicates the coefficient of friction between the two